What's going on, guys? Breakhaven here for another fragrance review, and I am super excited about the new Scotch Porter collection. I'm gonna dive right into it. Let's start with, this is the Porter's House. So this was, honestly, I'm kind of on the fence on which one is my favorite from this house out of these two. So I'm not gonna even, say which one is better than the other. I'm just gonna explain them. So let's talk about the Porter's House. The Porter's House has deep greens, warm spice, and cashmere musk. Now, what I will say about it, that cashmere musk, emphasis on the cashmere musk. It is heavy on musk. If you love musk, you'll love this, but my gosh, is this a musky scent. But let's talk about it. What does it smell like to me? This fragrance, when I first smelled it, I said, it smells like a really expensive bachelor pad or a really expensive hotel lobby. It just smells expensive. It has a little saltiness to it, but it smells like, if I could break this down into an aroma and just diffuse it throughout my house, I would do that. And that may be one of the biggest compliments you can have when it comes to a fragrance, is because, guys, in the fragrance community, we want something that has sillage and that has projection. So with that said, the fact that I would want my whole house to smell this way, that's actually a compliment. Because when I walk into a room, let's be honest, I want to smell up a whole room, in a nice, soft, and inoffensive way, of course, not like a strong, overly quote-unquote masculine fragrance, but you know what I mean. So this fragrance, it just smells like a really, really expensive hotel lobby. I just picture myself, out of town and booking a nice restaurant and, going back to the hotel and just walking in and asking the person at the desk, well, what fragrance is that in the air? That's what this smells like to me. It's kind of salty. It almost has a little sandalwood type of, feel to it, even though according to the notes it has no sandalwood. But guys, that is the Porter's House. Let's move on to Miami Ducky. Now, as you notice, all of the bottles look the same. So as far as if you want to look for the name of the fragrance on the bottle, you have to look at the sticker on the back because they're identical as far as, the front of it. So let's talk about Miami Ducky. This could easily be my number one, but I'm just I go back and forth between these two. But let's read the notes of Miami Ducky. We have amber, tonka bean, and saffron. If I was recommending you guys blind buy any fragrance from this house, it would be Miami Ducky. I feel like it's a can't miss. It smells like it smells like a fall type of scent, but they named it Miami Ducky, so I can definitely see it, a night in Miami, out on the town, and you spritzing yourself down with a little bit of Miami Ducky. So yeah, the notes are amber, tonka bean, and saffron. What does it smell like? It smells like a really good dry down fragrance. You know how your favorite fragrance or whatever fragrance that you like the dry down of the most? That's what this smells like. This smells like a really, really good dry down of a fragrance. It's really good. It has a little sensualness to it. It smells very, smells like you could get in trouble if you put, too many sprays on, going out a night on the town. That's what it smells like. It is a fall scent to my nose. It's the tonka bean really kind of warms it up. I would be curious to see how it smells, in the warmer weathers. So yeah, Miami Ducky is one of those fragrances that may get you in trouble. When I first, oh man, I almost forgot how it smelled until I just smelled it again. Miami Ducky might be my number one from this collection. This would be the one that I recommend anybody blind buy. It's a sensual tonka bean, creamy. Ah, man, it's a good one. If I'm recommending a blind buy, Miami Ducky, thank me later because you will. So let's talk about Badlands. I would say that Badlands is one of the more safer fragrances. I would say that, to my nose, it's a little cliche. It kind of reminds me of when I used to work at Abercrombie growing up, or like Hollister. It smells kind of like a, more of a cliche type of fragrance. It's fresh. It's definitely fresh, and I like it. Let's read some of the notes. We have fresh, earthy musk. Well, it's a fresh, earthy musk scent. I'm actually not seeing the notes for this one. I'm reading the scent profile. They're saying it's an aromatic, woody, And it has grassy notes of Rocky Mountain juniper. It also has vetiver, it has verbena, oak malls, and it has grapefruit. Now, it also has some, it says mandarin wildflowers. So this has some things going on with it. This fragrance, I love grapefruit fragrances. Like, if it's a grapefruit fragrance, more than likely I like it. And I like this fragrance, but I'm actually not detecting the grapefruit, and that's probably not why I like this fragrance. This fragrance, it smells a little too cliche for me. A lot of people love Badlands. What I love about this house is you really can't go wrong. I would absolutely buy all 4 of them, because with buying all 4 of them, you have fragrances. You have 4 fragrances that can last you, you know, throughout the year. It's the 4 fragrances that they do have. They're very diverse. This fragrance will probably be 4th on my list out of the 4, just because, you know, of my experiences working in, you know, department stores. It kind of reminds me of, you know, like a, not department store, but a specific clothing store, like a Hollister, like a Abercrombie. They have their own unique smell, and it kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me of, you know, wearing a plaid shirt, because we used to always wear plaid. That's pretty much all we wore back in those days at Abercrombie. So that's the vibe I'm getting from that one. Let's move on to the next one. Now, let's talk about Glenwood. This fragrance, Glenwood, is a sandalwood fragrance. Now, I always ask people, well, what kind of sandalwood is it? Because sandalwood is so diverse, and you smell sandalwood in a lot of different fragrances, and it's like, well, what type of sandalwood or what type of fragrance does it remind you of? This reminds me a lot of Santal 33 by Le Labo. It's that type of sandalwood, kind of salty. I always said that Le Labo Santal 33 smelled very salty. It's a human scent. It smells like salt to me. And this smells salty in that same way. So it's like a salty sandalwood. I'm getting a lot of Le Labo Santal 33 in this fragrance, which I actually like that fragrance. I would be more inclined to get this one because it's cheaper. I don't see myself ever paying the price tag for the Santal 33 because I don't like it that much, but I do like it. And it's one of those scents that you may not like on yourself, but from what I've read, a lot of other people will smell it on you and will absolutely love it. So that matters. So a question, do you guys, do you guys like fragrances, or are you guys more inclined to buy a fragrance if someone else liked it on you as opposed to you like it on yourself? Or when you buy fragrances, you want to smell it on yourself and you want to like it? That's a good question. I think Santal 33 or Glenwood from, Scotch Porter, I think it's one of those fragrances for me. I would spray it on me. I think other people would like it, but I couldn't, spray it here. I wouldn't want to just smell it all day. But it's a very salty sandalwood style of fragrance, and again, I can't pay that Le Labo price tag, so I would absolutely, pay this price tag because I like it just enough to purchase it at the price tag that they have it at. So yeah, that's pretty much the full collection of Scotch Porter. If you're blind buying a fragrance, I absolutely recommend Miami Ducky. Second for me is the Porter's House, which again, some days it's my first, some days it's my second. A very musky bachelor pad type of smell. And then third for me will be Glenwood, that salty sandalwood type of fragrance. And last for me would be Badlands. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.